So now that we're all back from therapy, I think it's time we talked about what we've seen so far in Silent Hill 2. This is Peter.
Michaela.
Eventually.
And Scott.
I thought I'd finish yawning.
Casting our mind back to the labyrinth. Well, the first thing we did was manage to get through that puzzle.
What puzzle?
It probably didn't seem like much of a puzzle at the time, because you kind of just went, I'm going to pull random ropes and see what happens. I mean, you didn't even examine the clue first.
I did examine I pulled the rope and examined the clue, then didn't know what it meant. Pulled a random rope and went to the other room. See if I missed something there.
Well, the way it's supposed to work is the clue tells you that you're supposed to find out who the innocent one was, the one who was wrongfully executed.
Okay.
And what you do is you figure that out from because you read the poem, yeah?
Yeah.
You're supposed to figure out who isn't mentioned as actually doing a crime. I think Michaela said it was the arsonist?
Yes, because towards the end it simply says that there was a bunch of fires and the sheriff blames the stranger who happened to be in town.
Could have been him, though, couldn't it?
Yeah.
We just didn't have any evidence. But anyway, the point is that it wasn't him. So you're supposed to pull his noose, give him some slack. Give him some slack, and then that's the solution to the puzzle. And then you can go back, and if you do it wrong, then what's supposed to happen is spawns a couple of enemies. But you managed to just get it anyway, so that was good.
Lucky.
And it led to the room of the dead Maria.
Yeah. What caused that?
Well, you don't really know. I get the impression, obviously, because we've now seen the tape, because she has bruises all over her face when she's lying on the bed.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a sort of a mirror of Mary's injuries.
Okay.
Caused by her illness.
Yeah, because it's the sort of second time Maria's died now. It's sort of like you're having to endure it over and over again. That's your punishment, I suppose.
The game never actually mentions what that damn disease is, but it looks quite nasty.
Incurable cough of death.
Yeah. Well, we've all had one of those. And got better. So we caught back up with our good friend Eddie.
Wonderful fellow. Touchmental.
So what did you think about the environment where we fought Eddie?
The meat locker.
Well, and the room before that, yeah.
I was wondering what that gas was being pumped into the room was.
Actually, I think it was just supposed to be cold air.
Yeah, sort of
that makes
condensation.
sense. Freezer room. There's a lot of bodies in that room, and they all wore the same stuff.
Yes, like all the bodies earlier. They're wearing your green jacket and the same dark pants, and they sort of have the same kind of hair, but all their faces are disfigured.
I'm not sure if they're supposed to literally represent you, or if they're just supposed to be that's just the corpses, and they use lots of them.
It's whether they're lazy on assets or...
Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's supposed to be, like, you know, metaphorical, but it's also just their generic corpses. Because, I mean, Eddie's not killing you over and over again, he's just killing everyone who picked on him, I assume.
Or anyone who looked at him, or passed him in the street, or... It's no big deal.
Gave him a funny look, I suppose. Because, of course, he turns on you.
Because you call him crazy.
Although, to be fair, standing over corpses...
With a gun.
can make you look a little bit crazy.
It also made him look towards the end rather evil.
Very maniacal. But he was terrible at hiding.
He was. I did like the way the meat that was hanging from the ceiling also looked a bit like him.
Did it?
Yeah, because it had little trousers, which are the same sort of short pants that he wears.
The big gut and the little brown trousers.
The rifle's really annoying in that fight.
Yes, we noticed you switched away to the shotgun.
It's because you can move with the shotgun and then not count with the rifle. It just moves around.
It also takes quite a while to actually stop and aim and...
Yeah, by the time you've done it, he's punched you 3 times.
Yeah.
But not a hard battle, I take it, really.
It took a lot of health pickups off me, so... It was probably the hardest I've come across so far.
Right. And what did you think as well about James's reaction? He's the first real person we've killed. Oh, we assume that.
I would have thought he'd become quite immunised to the death and destruction that's going on around him.
And then we came out of that locker, which was, let's see, down, what was it, 8, 9, 25 million holes or something by that point?
About 6 or 7, and at least 2 or 3 staircases that were naturally long.
And then we came out water level.
Yeah. I wouldn't know who the architect was for that historical society.
So, not expected then.
Kind of was in a way, because that's just sort of... I was thinking that's just the sort of thing the game would do.
So you're thinking at some point you must return to reality.
Yeah. And having it put you out somewhere sensible, despite where you've been, is probably what it will try and do.
And only a short distance as well, because I mean, we sort of ended up the other side of the historical society.
Yeah, because when you're outside, the sign it says that the boat launch is just around it.
Could have saved time and just jumped the fence.
Yeah, so it's a bit strange. And then there's because the road was blocked, because of course the purpose was to get to the Lakeview Hotel, and then we just took a boat. What did you think of the little boating section?
It was very hard to control the boat. It took a while to find the light to follow as well, because I spotted it when I was going out, but it took a while to find the thing.
Because you get in the boat sideways, don't you?
Yeah, but you don't know if you're turning properly or not. Maybe a bit of hint the water's facing the other direction or going the other direction.
Yeah, because it's like it's deliberately not giving you any frame of reference, which is why you have to search out for the light and then follow the light, because that's your one frame of reference, because otherwise it's just you're on a boat in the middle of a lake, it's foggy, you can't see.
Imagine calming.
Yes,
what you've just been through.
I think that's supposed to be the point, because we were saying at the time there's an achievement on the new version to do it in about 1:30. So
I would sound more of an achievement.
So it's at least 1.5 minutes that you're there just rowing.
Just rather break the mood actually on the PS3 when it sort of goes ping, you got a trophy, well done, and it's like it's a horror game, it doesn't really need it.
You wrote a boat, well done. Kind of spoils the immersion, really.
I mean, if there was a way for them to, because I think it's actually Sony's fault in this case, because there's no way to turn off the trophy notifications or even the sound of the trophy notifications. Because if you could just turn off the sound and they sort of popped into the corner, I don't know, in black and white or something, that wouldn't be so bad.
Because you can turn off notifications for people signing in and out, can't you?
Yeah. Well, you can just sign out.
Yeah. So it's a shame you can't do the same thing for trophies.
And then we arrived at Yon Hotel.
It was quiet there for a bit as well. And the longer things are quiet, the more paranoid I start getting.
I think that's why that Laura plays the piano when you go into that room, just to freak you out.
First jump scare I've had.
And sort of breaks the tension.
Apart from Pyramid Head.
Yeah, it's quite light on jump scares, isn't it?
And yes, I think that the feeling of quiet, it's very building up to something. Because I suppose it is.
And in that scene, Laura reveals for definite that Mary didn't die 3 years ago. So what's going on there?
Well,
I have no idea.
No.
Honestly, have no clue about that. Though, considering she's been drawn into Silent Hill with the rest of them, she could just be crazy.
I'm tired of
That's certainly a possibility. There was the employee elevator as well, which doesn't let you go anywhere, even if you're carrying a key.
Very literal, isn't it?
Yeah, and a bit silly, to be honest. Because it kind of makes sense that it doesn't let you go down the floor straight away because it allows one person. And you are carrying some quite ridiculous stuff with you.
A shotgun, a rifle, a pistol, a sledgehammer.
But yes, it does seem to essentially mean one person, as in how much James weighs exactly now with clothes on. Because it doesn't make you go naked.
But you can't carry a letter.
Yeah.
Because the paper it's very heavy paper.
Could put you over the limit.
It's for the feeling though when you come out. I don't know if you felt worried about fighting anything because you didn't have any items.
Wow. Yeah, I figured it could go one of two ways. The first one being it could have just thrown enemies at you and made you just deal with it. The other was what it kind of did, which was just try and make you feel slightly uneasy.
Were you expecting to find bulbs in the can?
Gotta say it was low on my list.
Because, things that you store in cans, we were listing some.
Yeah, because it's a very unlabelled can, dubious.
With Silent Hill, I was expecting severed heads or something.
Oh, I don't know, I think that's a bit grotesque.
Oh, you seem to have a little bit difficulty with the music puzzle until you realised you could examine the engravings on the front and the sides.
I thought the engraving was just one engraving with one clue in it. But
you didn't realise you could come at them from the sides?
Yeah.
Right, because I was wondering when we were watching that. And of course we had to get there eventually. room 312.
Quite a pleasant room. Quite large.
It was actually, and it did have a view of the lake. But and then of course you discover the videotape's contents.
Not sure what to say about that.
Were you expecting it? I assume not.
I was expecting something like it coming up eventually because it's been building up to the idea that James is a horrible murderer just like the rest of them.
Or at least he has. He's not a reliable narrator, at least, because he's talking about how it happened sort of many years ago, and then everyone else is like, "What are you talking about?" Well, Laura's saying that, but like you say, there's a possibility that she's just crazy. The videotape itself is, I thought, quite powerful, if hard to make out what's going on.
Yeah, I kind of was trying to figure out what James was doing in the video to it. I thought she was strangling her, but it was a pillow, wasn't it?
Yes, smothering over the pillow. And I love the conversation he has between himself and Emmy Award-winning actress Laura. I don't know, didn't you get a little bit of a she's going for the award here? This is her Oscar speech.
Liar, you liar, killer.
Yeah, I thought that bit was brilliant. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting that particular twist. Obviously, it's building up to something, as you say, and I thought, well, you know, obviously he's remembering it wrong, but I didn't actually think he would be killing her in the videotape. I didn't see that coming.
He doesn't have a motivation to do it.
No, but we'll see how that works out soon. And we're going to find out what happens soon, so I'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.